Back here on One Bills Live, Chris Brown, Steve Tasker coming live remotely from the New Era Cap headquarters here at 160 Delaware Avenue, downtown Buffalo. New Era Cap doing a cool partnership with Feed More Western New York. You come in, you make a purchase, you can donate $2, $5, or $10 and help the good folks at Feed More Western New York. But it's time now for From the Armchair, presented by Raymore and Flanagan. Raymore and Flanagan is a proud partner of the Buffalo Bills, and we know who we bring in every week for this segment. It's former Bills center Mitch Morse. Mitch, I'm curious, first off, because Steve was beside himself at halftime of this game on Sunday. Where were your emotions at the break there as the team headed to the locker room down 24-7?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I shared Steve's sentiment and reached for as many libations as I possibly could. Just trying to numb the system and also just decrease the heart rate. And all that did was spike it for that second half comeback. It was a beautiful game. You know, I know the sentiment's been shared, the second half team, but holy cow, what a contest, dude.
Yeah, I heard what James Cook said. Listen, everything was really calm. It was we just said, hey, listen, this is not who we are. Let's go out and play our game. And I get that. I mean, I've been a part of those locker rooms as well. But X's and O's wise, certainly, and I was telling Brownie this, I watched the replay, the condensed version of this game a couple of times, and the Bills weren't struggling to move the ball. They were struggling to execute. And they were getting into, third down really quick. They had the first three drives were almost non-existent, and they only got 4 drives the entire first half. And when they finally got out of their own way, they scored a touchdown and went on to score 4 more right after halftime. So I don't know that there's that many offensive adjustments that they were looking for, but defensively, I don't know. I might have to be convinced that they didn't have a little bit of work to do over there.
I mean, you hear the tale of two halves being said, and my goodness, on offense, to your point, rather, I mean, I think of those first few drives like that. It wasn't that there wasn't anything there, right? Like that Brandon Cooks catch was so close to being in, and then of course there was a late third down where they brought just like a really great pressure against the 5-man protection. Of course, then we get going, and inversely, they were scoring on every drive, and then we finally stifled them. You hear about a Rolodex a defense has making adjustments, and I guess you tried to lull them into a sense of security for this one, because I got nothing fancy for you guys besides the fact that was just one heck of a second half. And I think one of those things that they did in those big moments in those second halves is they showed them different looks, and they didn't show them the same thing over and over again. And I guess that gets them into a sense of complacency, because it was two different games, truly, from first half to second half.
It definitely was.
And this is the second half team, I guess. It's crazy.
Yeah. One of the guys that sparked them, though, was Ray Davis, who for the last pretty much since the Houston game, when he took the 97-yarder back for a touchdown, has led the league in kick return average, and he only helped his average on Sunday, but clearly provided a spark for this team to start the second half. And we were talking about it yesterday, Mitch, special teams coordinator Chris Tabor, and some of the wrinkles he put in the kick return game, notably Ray Davis, single returner, Ty Johnson not next to him, Reggie Gilliam as an up man, and even Alec Anderson as an up man on that second half kickoff.
What a tale. We talk about tale of two halves. You can be in part of a game. It can be part of a season. I remember this being a huge talking point early on. And then what do? You make adjustments, and Ray Davis becomes one of the most explosive kick returners in the NFL. I mean, he is the most explosive kickoff return in the NFL, setting Bills, franchise records. And honestly, as an offensive player, more than anything, there is something to walking onto that field with good field position. It definitely plays a psychological role in giving you a little more confidence. Ray Davis is giving this offense as much confidence as a few first downs, because he is giving these guys a few first downs. He's flipping the fuel. There's not this arduous 75 or 80 yards that this offense has to navigate. Really, it's 60 yards at the most, it seems like, if the guy is really humming. So kudos to him. Kudos to that special teams coordinator. And if you can get Alec Anderson on kickoff return. He's a pig savage. He's a lunatic. You get him on there, dude.
Yeah.
That's how you know they're doing the right things and looking at not only the personnel but the person, because that man wants to. He loves violence, and it's a violent part of the game, Steve. And it's a beautiful.
Yeah, I'll
thing.
tell you this. That's right. You have a big man on special teams who's a tough matchup and who wants it. It's a hard matchup because a lot of special teams philosophy is around the athleticism, the speed and the coordination guys to keep their balance. But if you get a big dude out there who wants it and can play, it's really a tough matchup for the other side because they won't have a guy that big who can do it, who can match up with. So all of a sudden, even if somebody's getting taken out by that guy.
Well, Steve,
and if
answer me this question.
Team,
It just
same
seems like
thing.
the last few weeks we're looking at this. It just seems like this special teams unit wants it more. It's no statistics behind it. It's just all eye candy. Like, do you see a team that's playing harder on special teams?
Well, Steve made this point yesterday, and he's probably going to make it again here because I think it's 100% accurate.
Yeah, I do. I think they're starting to get a feel for the rhythm of the game. They're also what happens too, Mitch, is it's like the offense, like you and the offensive line and stuff, and you're blocking for a guy like James Cook, who all of a sudden is this guy, and it elevates your play and your desire and your motivation and all that. It's the exact same thing for a kick return unit. If you're up there blocking on the front line of kickoff, and you know you've got a Ray Davis back there who can go and is leading the league, and you got this thing moving, and you're contributing to a good team in big games, man, it elevates the other 10 guys on the squad. And you can tell that it's starting to feed on itself for the Bills' return game.
That's amazing. Yeah, well said. Very well said.
I got something to ask for you. So we've seen a lot at the end of the game. We've seen the highlight 100 times of Joey Bosa deflecting the pass and sending the Pats offense off the field for the last time. But to seal that win, I wanted you to talk, because this will be your forte. The Bills, it's 2 minutes, and with every snap of the ball and every timeout that the New England Patriots take, it's getting less and less likely that they're going to be able to win the game. But you still have a chance to ice it. And the Bills run this play on 3rd and 2 to Ty Johnson on a quick handoff as he's the fullback offset to the right. And they hand this off quick to him, and he gets it. Tell me walk through that play, because that's the final play that put him into kneel-down formation.
It was my favorite play of the day, Steve. Out of all the plays that we saw the offense run, it was my favorite because, like you had said, this was such a momentous play. Yes, it was a tale of two halves, but who didn't feel like the New England Patriots could find something at the very end and get going? They had to get this 3rd down. And it was a dive. Like, this is a team, dude. The Bills, we see this, and for weeks and months, I would have told you that they live on outside zone, and that's what they live and die on. They do not run between the tackles. This is the epitome of running between the tackles, a dive, right? Like a fullback dive. Like Ty Johnson's the fullback in this, and they run the Patriots come out in a 6-2 defense where they have 3 guys on the left. It's a goal line defense. They come out in a goal line defense. They maneuver it, and then they run it between the A gaps, where Osiris Torrance actually has a very good kind of leverage twist out block. It's just a grimy play. Connor, Dave, and Dion have to keep their guys inside out. They do. And then they just book what we call book, which is leave the safety who comes into that linebacker position. The tight ends do a fantastic job. Everyone's on the same page, and it's grimy as hell. And it's something that this team really hasn't run. But it's also one of those weird attitude plays, man. It's a dog ass attitude play. These dudes are going to run. We know what defense you're in. You're in a defense to stop the run. You know we're going to run, and we don't give two diddlies. This is what we're going to do. And it was you could see the elation on the offense. Of course, they were exhausted because it was a grinder of a game. But then they're able to kneel it out. The greatest play in football is victory formation, baby. And they were able to do that after that grimy play.
You already touched on the defensive effort and how varied the play calls were in the second half. It had Drake May as indecisive as I have seen him all season long. So credit the coaching staff for spinning the dial on him consistently, not one series to the next, literally one play to the next. He did not get the same look twice for a long stretch in that third quarter and even into the fourth quarter. And then you had guys executing and making plays. You know, whether it was Milano coming on an A-gap blitz or Bosa dropping out and Milano's the blitzer. Milano came through in a big way and looked like 2022 All-Pro Matt Milano, 10 tackles, 2 sacks, forced fumble. That was a welcome Matt Milano sighting.
Oh, Chris, it was, of course, I have to, I'm not going to be able to take off my Homer vest on this because Matt's one of my favorite teammates I've ever been around. But the guy turned back the dials, man. He was playing confident. He was playing lights out. He was playing fast, decisive, physical, violent. To your point, this was 2022 Matt Milano, and it was poetry, my friend. We were seeing him make TFLs, sacks. I mean, more than anything, there was even plays that he didn't make the tackle, but he was playing in the backfield. When you have a linebacker playing in the backfield through and through, and those 2 sacks, to his credit, were just effort. I'm a big boy. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to out effort you in a divisional game where it's a hat and T-shirts. You guys think that I'm washed up, whatever the national narrative, whatever the narrative is from the defense. I don't care. This man came out to play, and in the last 3 games has had 20 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, whatever you want to call it. We had talked about Shaq Thompson a few weeks back, or these past few weeks, interjecting some energy into this. Well, shoot, man. The baton's been passed, or it's been shared at least by Matt Milano. And as a guy has a vested interest in the person, I can't be happier.
Well, Mitch, before we came on, we just had a quick conversation at the end of our last segment that that this point of the season, the AFC, the conference is so wide open. All 4 divisions have a different leader than they did 12 months ago, this late in the season. And there's a ton of teams in the hunt to get in the wild card, win the division, all of that. And the conversation shifts. Give us an idea of what the mentality is inside the locker room when you're trying your best just to keep your head down, think about this game, think about doing your job, preparing for the Cleveland Browns this weekend in Cleveland. But there's so much going on in the league, and you don't know which team you're going to face in 4 weeks, let alone these last 3 games are set. In 4 weeks, you're pretty sure you're going to be playing somebody, and you're trying to figure out who it is.
Yeah, Steve, I always loved Christmas football time because, of course, you understand who you are as a team. Things have kind of settled down in regards to practices, kind of cut back a little bit. You're just kind of in the flow. That being said, there is so much unknown in this season, but I feel like in the past, the Bills have had so much unknown, whether it's having to win out to win the division or make the playoffs, whatever. Your mind, it seems, in that building or maybe in the NFL when things are going well, your mind seems to calm as chaos and as the stakes get higher, right? And I think that's the sign of good football teams. It was every time I was in that, one Bills, I was in one Bills drive, it seemed that as everything around us, the narratives or whatever kept going closer to Christmas, that's when everything calmed down for us. That's when we just stuck to our game plan. That's when we stuck to what we knew worked, and then let the chips fall where they may. It's the biggest cliche around, but God bless you. Just worry about yourself and then let everything else be dictated by folks who, are outside of the building.
Good stuff, Mitch. Thanks for the time as always. We'll catch up with you next week, right before Christmas. So no Christmas wishes just yet from us to you. We'll do that next week.
Hey, sneak a few hats for me, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks.